Joe drags in, should be dragging Joe's money in here. Thank you. And now we've got a balance for the call. And it's more than 4,000 for Joe Abu to call. Trust me, that's incorrect. We'll check with the dealer how much it is. How much is it for Joe to call?
Now I said I don't want to do. Then he said we moved. I was 17, 12, 13,000. I double him up. And look at the way. And he also gave me double up. Yeah, 12 times it goes all in.
Raised to 11,000.
Okay, Mr. Sun raised to 11,000. Abdulessa, welcome to the table. He's a fold. JP folds.
We raised to 30,000.
Gio Zanetti not there.
24,000. So, only 24,000. 30,000 to play. Raised to 30.
So Joe Ebra as Moon Khan called. Oh, Rob Faree 3-betted to 34,000. So Moon called the 32,000. Joe called the 30,000. Huawei Sun to act. He's also going to be involved in 30,000. There's a huge pot brewing here. Okay, now we understand. So Joe was actually all in. He didn't call. So Rob must have called also. So I don't know who the other player is who's all in. Let's change the camera to the other end of the table. So Rob is now all in. So Rob has got the triangle also. He's also all in. So we're 3 ways to the turn. Nice and slow dealer. Oh, a set of 9s for Mr. Sun. Spade draw for Joe Abra and for Rob. And it's a full house on the river, and Mr. Sun will take out 2 players. Mr. Sun will take out 2 players.
JP, you missed the shooter. Can you believe it?
They know you play pocket nine.
You know, last is only 13,000. I double him up. Then he double him the JP. Catch him.
So a very nice hand. Mr. Sun took the gamble, made the set on the turn, made a full boat on the river.
From 13,000. I only left the 17,000. That is the hand against your husband.
So lots of excitement. And Gio Zanetti has also joined the table, as you'll see. And Abdelessa. I must say, JP looks a bit tired. And Gio comes out firing. Moon Khan will call this off for sure, might even re-raise it. So Mr. Ian Starr says, "Hey Gaza, greetings from the thriving metropolis of Kutlawanga, Wananga in the Matahabian district." Gee, but that could be a quiz question. Where is Ian Starr? Nice to see you online, buddy. Oh, crikey, the 9s are very popular this evening. It's a check from Jared. Option with Gio. Gio will continue here for sure.
18,500.
Gio's an action player and he's come here to win. He's not come here to win 4,888 round, trust me. And the same could be said of Mr. Moon as well. Let's see if Moon decides to repop this. I suspect he might. And he's saying to Gio, don't mess with me, I've got a better hand. And Jared to get out of the way. He won't want to get in this fight, that's for sure. Background of Gio. And Gio folds. And Gio's not embarrassed. He knows that he's been caught and he's quite happy with that.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Gio's got ace king here. Bring the fire again. Pocket twos for Jared. Might like to go do a bit of set mining. He's got just about 100k behind. Unfortunately, no help for Gio's ace king there. Checks from Jared, check back. There's the card he was looking for. Makes a flush, of course, so he may be a little wary. It'll come out firing now. Checks it off. Doesn't like to see a spade on the river, and Gerald wins that with the two of spades. Should have bet the turn. Gio will laugh to himself. So it's coming up for local time, 1 o'clock in the morning here. I think we got about 2 hours or so to run still. So I hope you're all staying with us. And won't be long before we'll put out another competition for you late birds. Maurice has got pocket fours here. Maurice has been quite quiet. He started off being quite active at the table, but his runner hands dried up quite quickly. Mr. Sun has also got a bit quiet since he got some newly acquired wealth. Obviously just taking a back seat. Going to pick his hands now, not too worried about getting blinded. So Moon's good with the ace here. Certainly a card that Morris did want to see. And in fact, all three cards are overs, of course, to his pair. Whether or not he wants to continue the story, he's out of position and Moon does have an ace. So sometimes it's better just to shut down and check it. He checks it. Moon will fire and it'll just be a fold, I'm sure. This Moon wants to get creative. That's a check back. Moon might be worried about being trapped with a better kicker. There's a bet, and there's a fold coming, I'm sure. Indeed, Morris decides to fold, and that's the smart move. So well done. Got about 8 minutes to go on the level.
Do something this time, I'll get it.
So I worked out that Ian Starr's in the Free State. I had to look it up. I couldn't pronounce the words, I've got to be honest. Unless it was 7-2 here, getting creative maybe. I think that's just a flat call. We didn't see Jared's cards. interesting hand this, that Abdul's put Gerard under a huge amount of pressure, betting 26,000 here. Gerard's got an 8 or a 9, he's definitely thinking about it. Be a huge call if he's only got ace high. He's got 93 behind, so he's putting him under a bit of pressure here. And I think Abdul's going to get away with this, to be frank. Gerard's playing it through in his head. And he makes the call. And Abdul falls. Ace high. Wow, told you. Wow, what a call. And the reason Gerard showed that is to prove that he had a good read on Abdul there. Abdul was never ever folding there. And the boys giving Abdul a bit of flack about having his hand in the cookie jar, which is fair. 7-2, getting out of line. So we'll have a shot of the timing board if Jake can manage that for us. Can we have a shot of the timing board, Jake? Thank you very much. So we're just coming up to the end of this blind level. 2,500, 5,000 will be new blinds. That's coming up in just under 2 minutes. And then we have another 40 minutes before the next break. Didn't quite get a chance to see how many players were left in there. I think it was 22. I might be wrong. Yeah, 22. We're just checking on the other camera. And coincidentally, Gerard has 22 in his hand. There we go. How about that?
Like let the gentleman comment. I put all in, all the everybody combined. Just the basic. The other one is still getting the
That was the beeper in the background telling us that the blinds are up. So and there we go. There's the announcement. Ten, 7, 6. Pair of 10s for Abdul, pair of 6s for Gio. Gerald, we don't know. Be amusing if he had a 7. Checks around, I think. Oh no, Abdul's gonna thinking about this. So there's a bet there, 17,000. Geo folds. And this is a familiar jolting match. Jared and Abdul. Abdul looking for some money back here. So at the conclusion of this hand, we will be doing our next quiz question, and that'll be for a gangster hoodie with the gold writing from, assuming we got your size, of course, from the Monster Jam merchandising store. So, and that's a fold, and Abdul gets some money back. So here we go. Here's the quiz. Here is the quiz question we've been promising the late birds. We want you to guess the height of Brad, Jake, and Gary. But that's not all. You have to guess it in centimeters and then convert it to inches. And what is the combined height of the three of us in inches? And the more astute ones of you realize that you don't actually have to do anything other than inches. But if you think you could do centimeters better, then convert it to inches. We are looking for the person who is closest to the nearest full inch of our combined heights. That is young Bradley, younger Jake, and older Gary. And we're big dudes, eh? Don't come in here with your measuring tapes. This is big prize time. Gangster hoodie. Gangster hoodie. And you can't Google it, which is so infuriating. Isn't it just when you can't Google one of the questions? Bummer. Okay, my clock's running. It's 30 minutes time. You're all going to be buzzing and running around trying to work out how many centimeters in an inch and how big is Gaza and how big is Jake, and is Bradley taller than Jake, and Jake taller than Gary, and Bradley taller than Jake? Who knows? Same rules apply. Monster Jam Poker Room WhatsApp group or the Facebook feed. And to get the prize, you got to come and claim it. You can't send anybody else. You got to come and get it yourself. And we will keep your prize until the end of the event, which is on Sunday evening. We might even get crazy Bob Dylan to take a picture of you and put it in the social media blog. In fact, we definitely will. Okay, blinds 2,500, 5,000, 5,000 on the big blind ante. This is hand 245 of the day. Huawei Sun with ace 10 under the gun plus 1. That's 326,000 chips behind. And it's decided it's time to wake up the beast. Talking about waking up beast, Abdul, wake up. JP with a 7-5 off, they'll be in the bin. And Gio with his queen 10 on the button in position might fancy a little float here. You know, the problem you have when merchandising Dave is in the field is that he doesn't come around giving us chocolate. But that's not a problem when you're a member of the Card Stream Monster Jam team, because we've only got our own. Thank you for the nosh bars. Let me just tell you folks out there, after this flop, King for 4, 2 spades, no real help for either player, ace high is ahead, check from Jared, we can't see his cards. Huawei Sun to go, no continuation bet. Gio's going to fire here to try and keep people on their toes. There's a bet. Jared folds. And Mr. Sun will also fold here. And you know, taking advantage of your position is a strong thing, and there's a classic example there, and well played by Gio. And they're getting back to this discussion about chocolates. I don't know which company makes these. I'm looking on the wrapper. But there's this chocolate bar called a nosh bar. I can't read that, Jake. Beacon. The company is called Beacon. The nosh bar. Apparently it doesn't say Beacon, it says Bradley. Yeah, that's why you're getting fat like me. Anyhow, it says on the side of the bar, and this is marketed at its best, bust the hunger with a burst of hazelnut nugget and caramel smothered in milk chocolate. How could you say no? How could you say no, Mr. Beacon, who makes the nosh bar? And let me tell you, if that doesn't hook you, once you open it and you see it, it's like one of those Baroni bars, or bar one to those who don't speak Italian, but only nicer. Let me tell you, if you've not done it before, break your nosh virginity, get out there, get yourself a nosh bar, and you will never turn back. You will never turn back from the nosh bar. Baroni will be a thing of the past. Indeed. Anyhow, Jared has got pocket threes here. And Gio's already led out with the ace-5, so it looks like Jared's going to flat here. 7-4 in the bin from Maurice. And we'll have two players to the flop. Ace-5-3 would be funny, wouldn't it? No such luck. 6, 9, 10, ace high ahead. No, sorry, pocket three's ahead. Jill will continue, no, or will he just check it back? Looks down at his chips, decides how big the bet's going to be. Chucks out 22. 8,500, small bet. I thought they were blacks, obviously not. Now this flop has got 3 overs to Jared's pair, but Jared just now sussed out and called with an ace high. Looks down at his chips, that's always a good sign that he's going to put some in. And Jared's a non-believer. Non-believer soul reader. And that was a 3-bet from Jared, so and a fold. Well played, young sir. Moon Khan, top of the pops. JP Oaks at the bottom, 116,000, but nothing to worry about at this stage. So,
we will be doing a full table redraw when we are down to 18 players. When we're down to 18 players, we will do a full table redraw.
So that was Mark in the background. He said when we're down to 18 players, we'll be doing a complete redraw. We were on 22 players the last time we had a look. I suspect that's still the same. We'll check for you momentarily. So back to our little quiz. What are the combined heights in inches of young Brad, younger Jake, older Gary, You can work it out in centimeters and convert it to inches, but the answer must come in inches, and the prize of a gangster gold-lettered hoodie, if we have your size, will go to the person who can guess the combined heights in inches to the nearest inch of the three of us. There's a challenge for you all. JP Oates with the ace-9 under the gun +1. Nice cards, early position. Let's see what JP's decides here. JP fires one off there. I think it was 12-5. Geo gets out of the way. Moon gets out of the way. Jared is woken up with sevens, and as the pros say, the 7 is always coming. I like that. I've not played against Jared for a long time, but I like his play. He looks like he's improved his game tremendously. Very thoughtful, very considered, and that's a compliment, sir, not an insult. We're going to go two ways. Ace-9, 7-7. There's the ace. And that's a check, so trappy from JP. Only one club there. I like a check back here. Yeah. Smell the ace out. Jack's another overcard, so two spades on board. I think JP has the bet here. 37.5 in the pot. Quite like to see a 17 bet. Decides to check. Trying to get Jared to stick some money in the pot here. Checks it back, very cautious. So the river card's an action killer for sure. Straight gets there. And the flush, of course. So 26 minutes on the level. Blinds are at 2,500, 5,000, 5,000 on the big blind ante. So everybody's still relatively deep. 22 players left in. And as the announcement alluded to just a few moments ago, we will do a complete redraw when we get down to 18 players. So while Mr. Moon makes up his mind, the quiz is out there. Combined heights in inches to the nearest inch of young Bradley, younger Jake, and older Gary, your card stream team. You can work it out in centimeters if you wish, not a problem. But we didn't need the answer in inches to the nearest inch. Answers on the Facebook stream comments or on the Monster Jam Booker Room WhatsApp group. First correct answer, or the answer that is closest, will get a prize, and the prize will be the Monster Jam hoodie with the gold lettering. All very gangster. We were going to throw in a nosh bar, but we're going to eat them all first. So raised up, ace-5, call, king jack, ace-10. Mr. Sun's jack is in the lead. standard continuation here from Moon.
18. Where is 18,000?
18,000 it is. Mr. Sun takes his time before calling.
Raise for 8,000. 14,000. 30,000.
So raised by Mr. Sun. Pretty sure Moon's going to fold this.
See? Sun is shining.
Oh, they crack us up, these guys. Mr. Sun, you are a genius. So, for those of you who didn't catch that at home, Moon Khan
But the earlier was Moon.
he re-raised the Sun, Mr. Sun. Moon folds, and I think Mr. Sun said, "You see, the sun is shining."
See in the morning.
The sun is rising, is that what he said? Beautiful. Absolutely priceless.
Raise. 12,500. 12,500. 10,000 more.
So Abdul's he's 10,000 to call out of the small blind with Queen 2. Abdul won't mind this either.
7,500 more.
Over to JP. The problem with these nosh bars are, once you eat one, you need another one. It's kind of like, Jake's hiding his nosh bar away now here. I might have to pull rank and let me eat all your chocolate. Just kidding, folks. I would never bully the troops. JP's still thinking about this. So we don't know what JP's got here, so given my knowledge of JP, I think he's actually going to raise here.
Raise. 36,000.
So he's popped it up to 36,000, 3 bets. And if you study players long enough, you'll know by their stance, their actions, and their demeanour what they're going to do. I'm not saying I've got a soul read on JP, but I had an inkling that he was going to raise that there. And I have no idea what Jared's got, but I do know that he'll respect JP. So based on my assessments, Abdul's already folded, by the way, so based on my assessment that Jared would respect JP. I suspect Jared's on a big hand also, so 9, 7, 10, so it's a bit straighty, 2 hearts. Bear in mind that JP is out of position. And JP's checked it.
50,000.
It was a bet of 50,000. JP's going to look at his cards. And that might be foldable. He's decided to call.
Check the bets.
So Jack King gets there. Remember, 2 clubs on board here, 2 hearts on board, so a flush draw. Here comes a shove and a call. And Ace Queen and Jack Queen.
That's what I used to call. It's 9,500.
So it says that JP's eliminated, but we're doing a chip count here just to make sure. And JP's not eliminated, he still has chips behind. Not a lot, but he still has chips behind.
You want to give it?
So, but so yeah, JP is in fact left very, very short here, about 40-odd thousand. So Moon will be our under the gun player. So, reminder of our quiz, we want the combined heights of young Bradley, younger Jake and older Gary. You can work it out in centimetres and convert it to inches. We want the answer in inches. The answer must be in inches and it must be to the nearest inch. For those people asking me what the nearest inch means, if it was 3,000.2 inches, that would be 3,000 inches because it's to the nearest inch. If it was 3,000.8 inches, it would be 3,001 inches because it's to the nearest inch. Moon can't. Queen 10, Abdulessa, Jack 10. JPO's 10-5. And Geo checks. So all the spades are out here, and Geo's the only one with a spade. Moon's probably going to bet his queen here. JPO's to act first. Although JP has the 10 of spades, my apologies, so he does have a draw also. He doesn't have much fold equity with only 37,000. So he's got to think carefully how he's going to play this. So he's going to shove it all in. And to be honest, I need somebody with a decent size spade he's going to call. Nice shove, JP. Very lucky somebody didn't have a bigger spade, but that's fine. You ride your luck. Well done, JP. So Maurice has woken up here, raised it up. You get some respect. He's been very quiet, so people will notice that he's coming in for a raise here. JP with the nines is probably in shoving mode here. So Ian Starr says well done on the pronunciation and the tracing. Oh dear. Should be a quiz on its own, Mr. Ian Starr. In he goes, as predicted. And whether or not anybody's got something to call with him. And flip around to see Maurice, see what he's got to do.
Players in accumulator can ask one person at every table to please buy more than 500 chips. One player at every table to please buy more than 500.
Nice job. Cuts it through. Well done, JP. The grind begins. Mr. Sun raises up here. JP Oates is just going to take his time before shoving it all in again.
All in. Let's get JP.
So, Mr. Sun, the question is asked, is the sun still rising? Or is JP Oates rising above you?
Mr. Sun, the only way I'm going to get your chips is if I get them from Mr. Moon.
Did you hear what he said there? He says, the only way I'm going to get your chips, Mr. Sun, is if I take them from Mr. Moon. Oh, JP's got his humour chip charged up and reinserted in the side of his head. Okay, so reading out the quiz again. What are the combined heights of young Bradley, younger Jake, and big Gary? You can do it in centimetres or inches. We want the answer in inches. If you do it in centimetres, then convert it to inches. And we want it to the nearest inch, the combined heights. And this time we're playing for big gangster hoodies. Big gangster hoodies. And we shall leave the answers open for about 30 minutes after the 30 minutes have gone by that allow you to answer. Remember, we're on a 30-minute delay. And for those of you who are interested, 30 minutes will be in 45 seconds. So you will be hearing the original quiz question in 45, make that 30 seconds. Remember, once again, it's only one entry per person. So Maurice Falls is 7-2, probably a good move. And that is the 30 minutes gone. So I am pretty sure you will now be hearing this question. And we will be seeing some answers coming through very soon. Five minutes to go until the end of the level. JP's got my extra favourite hand. I'll expect to raise here. I don't think he'll be shoving. Here's the raise, as predicted. So our first answers come in, and our combined heights, according to Sean Khalil, is 15 inches. Hi-ho! But also back in town. So I don't know if you understood the question, or maybe it's a misprint there. You meant to say 115, I don't know. The question is very simple. What are the combined heights of the three of us? And the answer must be in inches. We can't 3-bet to 32,500 with his pocket tens. Unbeknownst to JP, he has two of his ads, and JP decides to fold, which is probably right. So Sean says we're 1,500 inches. We're not a bloody skyscraper, Sean. He's changed it now to 150. I would be making typos at that time of night. We're going to accept 150 as your entry. Thank you, Sean.
I didn't tell the boy to raise 7,000 more must wait.
I'm the first on the table. Everybody around me has got chips out. Always taking one.
Meanwhile, back at the feature table, 2 minutes and 37 seconds. So Maurice has got ace queen here. Suspect this is a raise. Indeed, it is a raise. I suspect that'll be a fold, and that raise will get through.
You want all the farm? Yeah. We're trying to collect last hand. I haven't seen my car. Everything you have. Oh,
That's us getting to the end of the level here. Now on a 15-minute break.
he grabbed also.
We're signing off for a little while. We're going to go and do what we do, and we'll be back in 15 minutes.
There we go. Do you understand why that was? Jesus, we carry on from where we started. There we go.
So welcome back from the break. Harold's under the gun with 7-3. They're already in the mark, I suspect. No, he's having a look down. Harold's still got his cards in his hand. He's called. Unbelievable. Down to Bozo. Bozo calls on the button in position. And that looks like it's gone through Eugene. It's around to Johan in seat 1. Johan with the pocket tens, and he'll be raising this up for sure. I don't know about his sizing, something around 25 to 30. And that's an all-in, wow. Harold quickly gets out of the way, Bozo folds his cards, and Johan takes down the hand. So welcome back from the break, action all the way here on the feature table.
I don't know why I thought I had 612 when I left that table. I counted them 60,000. 60,000.
I mean, the idea that's a bit weird is normally before you move, they give you your little piece of paper when you ride, so I don't know why they didn't do that.
I might be mistaken.
Short, you've got to speak to the TV and stop the game now.
I'm 60,000 short, but I counted myself 612 before I left that table.
We played one round already.
Okay, where was your count?
Remember that one round, played 2 hands, so getting carried away.
Okay, there's 2 hands.
Yeah, 2 hands.
We finished the hand.
Actually,
Sorry guys,
why
We finished the hand.
I don't know if I made a
Hoeveel
mistake.
het jy nou dan man jy weet jy nou presies.
Precies 6
Ja, nou dat is
I can need blind slips.
dan weet jy nou daar is getal was
300,
400.
anything is possible. I think 50, Ross is 400, Ross is 500. My top 6, top 2, 6, top 2. And I get 612 count. I had it 612.
What you know, normally you can't have a weird saying.
Alright, you went 572. 572.
Just waiting.
Okay.
572.
No, you wait.
572 should have that.
Okay, so check chips the camel. I put 100k on the table. I took 99 and a half off. So it can't be there. Okay. I promise you that's the count we did. We did your count at 562.
560.
562.
Must
That's
have
what
made
you
a
have.
mistake there, buddy.
Okay,
Do
sorry guys.
apologize,
No worries. That's why we have checks that we do.
Rain might be a bit fine.
Yeah.
So we're back and running the stream, and Eric thought he had more chips than actually made it to the table. We've been back and checked the count on the departure and arrival at the table, and it was big of him to say he must have made a mistake because there are 2 checks. Anyhow, we move on. Thank you, Eric, for your honesty and the mature approach of the other players at the table. Pretty awesome. So we got a few answers in for the how many inches are we combined, etc., etc. And we'll wait for some more answers to come in. But Sean Khalil, thank you very much for your entry. Ian Starr, thank you very much for your entry. So welcome to all the late birds who are joining us on the stream. Nick Sisu, Jared Glass. So we got an exciting feature table here. Eugene Duplessis is in the hijack here. We don't know what Eugene's cards are just yet. Maybe you'll separate them apart and let us have a look. Eugene, the computer, he's got ace 10. Johan gets out of the way. Harold Brooks here with King Queen. Welcome to the feature table, Harold. We haven't seen you this season so far, this year. But no need to repeat the fact that we think that Harold is the gentleman of poker. He is indeed. Top guy. So Rainier gets out of the way, Vicky's out the way. And just a reminder that when we get to 18 players, we're going to do a full redraw. And Eugene decides to fold, give Harold the respect, and Harold will profit 30,000 chips. So well done, Harold. And there is your chip count. So Eric Phoeben has got 562, Rainier 440, 443 for David, Harold 388, and didn't catch the rest of them, but we'll see them at the next end of hand. So our next under the gun player will be David Rosenthal. Those are to his friends. Top right picture there in the black shirt, chatting away. David, also a prolific winner and former player of the year on the tour here. And we're blessed with talent as we go around to Eugene Duplessis. Fantastic player. Johan de Graaf, as we've seen many times on the feature table today. Jack 10 suited here. Fancy you'll like a piece of this. Johan gets his Jack 10 through. It's official. You're a member of the club. Congratulations. Johan with Jack 4 this time. Gets out the way. Harold Brooks with 10-6 in the hijack. Don't know if you folks at home can pick up the music in the background. We were just chatting about it in here. This is a band called Cockney Rebel and Steve Harley. Fantastic band. One of my boyhood bands. So 19,000 raise from Rainier. Vicky gets out of the way. Bozer's going to fold. He'll chuck his blinds down the table. And that will be that. Well done, Rainier. So Vicky's only got 8 big blinds. He's on life support here. The rest of the guys are in pretty good shape in terms of the blind levels. Blinds are at 3,000, 6,000, 6,000 on the big blind ante. So Johan under the gun here with pocket jacks, so we'll see how big the raise is. Blinds are now 6,000, so 12,000 is the min, 18,000 is the 2x. 21 it is. Vicky's having to think about it here with 3-2. Don't think so. So Johan's jacks get through. No real action on the table as yet. So Harold will be under the gun. Harold's in seat number 2. To his left is Rainier Smith. We haven't seen him on the table before. Rainier won, I think, a trophy back in Port Elizabeth. And coincidentally is the nephew of JP Oakes. So he's taken up residence where JP has left off. I can't remember if it's his mother is JP's sister or his father is JP's brother, but definitely at first he's a nephew, for sure. Okay, Mr. Bozo, you need to put your cards in the box, please, sir.
18,000. Yes, 18,000.
Okay, it's folded round to Eugene on the button. Looks like a 10,000 bet, I think. 15,000, sorry, my mistake. Seven 6 suited for Johan. Here come the hand grenades. Mr. Brooks will be having none of that nonsense.
Up to 51, player 2.
51,000 is the 3-bet. Back to you, Mr. Eugene Duplessis. He's looking at how many chips Harold has, and the computer will tick into life. He'll pull that little face thing up over his face, which is his habit, and nothing wrong. Eugene will be considering all the options here: the fold, the call, and the shove. Of course, the re-raise is also in play here. We haven't seen Eugene's cards, and I'm not going to ask the dealer to ask him because he's concentrating.
They're asking if you can put your content.
So Johan will be pleased to see that flop. He flops 2 pairs. Not a good flop for Harold Brooks, and we didn't see what Eugene's cards were. We did ask the dealer to ask him to put them in a box, but they've not been picked up. Maybe we'll get a shot of them in a minute. Checked all the way around. 2 is a brick. No diamond draw developing there. No hard draw or whatever. Harold Brooks needs a bet here, I think. I suspect Eugene is on a pair of some description here. So Johan didn't check. That's Johan betting out.
Player 1. 55. 55.
Okay, Harold will get away from this, I'm sure. So the action is with Eugene. And he decides to fold as well. So Johan will pick up 108,000 there. To the good.
Did you hear? 18,000. Player for 18,000. Player for
Sixes are saying ice cream. Yes. Ice cream was ice cream. Yeah, sixes coffee. Ah, yeah. Love it. I had
6,000
86.
player. Player 8. One card.
So I'm back at the microphone here. Eugene has raised it up to ace 2. Johan with pocket 3s. A lot of hearts out here. And a call from Harold with the 9-6. 7-2 in the bin. Vicky's 8-2 in the bin. And 3 ways to the flop. Jack King 9. So a pair of 9s for Harold. Nobody else hit. So Johan bets out. Harold Brooks calls. Eugene folds. So action on Eugene, is he going to continue the story? No, he decides to shut down and check. Harold's not going to have any of that, by the way. He's going to bet.
31,000 player. 31.
And that'll get it done. And Harold will pick up a profit of 66.
It used to be movement through as well.
Big voltage everywhere.
So Eugene is under the gun +1 with Queen 7 here. They're obviously gone in the muck, folded around. Rainier Smith's on the button. He's getting a bit bored there, I'm sure, and frustrated, not hitting any cards. Might decide to fire a little bit here on his button. See if you can pick up the blinds.
19,000.
19 is the bet. Random Vicky was the short stack. 10-6 and we'll get it done in the small blind. Pocket 2s for Eric. Eric is, looks like he's calling. Eric's got the big stack at the table, so he's got a few chips. And fortune favours the Braves. Set of 2s for Eric. He checks it. And the standard continuation bet here. I didn't see the size of the bet. 26. Nothing to fear on there except a set of 4s and a set of 10s. So I suspect a flat's in order. Rainier continues to fire. Eric's got a lock on the hand.
130. Player
And he
5.
repops it by the look of it to 130. And bye-bye Rainier. And people will be saying, why is he doing that? Well, the truth is, he's not going to get any more money because on the next street, in the big blind, he'll be first to act. He has to put a bet in there to get value out of his hand. And Rainier won't be calling anyhow. So he's got all he's going to get. So he may as well try and raise it here and hope that Rainier's got a big hand he calls him off. So good move by Eric. And there's the fold. If you run the hand through in your head, if it had just flat called there, he wins the same amount of money. Because he's first to act on the river, then at the end. And he's got a bet to value, and Rainier would shut down. Anyhow, well played, Eric. Unlucky Rainier, you tried to tell a story and it didn't get through. It's a little unfortunate. So it's folded round to Eugene. David folded is 7-2. So obviously Eugene called here. Check. Turn card brings another spade. And another spade. So I think that was a queen on the river there for Eugene. And your chip can set. Vicky is still bringing up the rear, so to speak, with 8 big blinds, looking for a spot. And our competition's still running. Combined heights in inches of the 3 of us in the back here. We're going to run it through till tomorrow. All the time the accumulator's on. Only got a couple of hunters or so in so far. All our late birds are going to bed. To be fair to our late birds, it is 25 to 3 in the morning here. So Rainier wakes up with pocket 9s here. So 20,000 for Rainier. Vicky's a fold. Action belongs to Eric. Also folds. And David Rosenthal with a fold. And Eugene looks down at 4-2 of clubs. That'll be a fold for sure. He's not going to be taking on a 20k raise with that. Mr. Brooks under the gun. Just in time. Back to the table, Harold. So Rainier has got the aces here. Raises up to 20k. Those are folds. Eugene is also folds. Going with 6-2. So Rainier is under the gun here. Eugene on the button here with King Queen. Vicky's raised to 26,000. I don't know if that's all in or not. Is there a triangle in front of Vicky? Do we know? So Vicky's still got some chips behind. Just coming to the end of the level.
Ladies and gentlemen, the accumulator of blinds an hour, 4,000, 8,000, 8,000, and empty. Let's get the last level for you.
So it sounds like we've got one more level of 40 minutes. So
46,000.
Eugene 3 bets to 46,000. Hacks on Johan. Johan folds. Harold folds. Vicky chucks it all in. And I think we'll be going to let's go to the flop cam. King Queen. King Queen. So a slight advantage to Vicky. King Queen of diamonds. There's a queen. So no flushes. So this is a chop pot by the look of it. Oh no, there's the diamond draw. Diamond on the river only. Otherwise it's a chop. Oh my word. That's how to do it. And let's get back to the table. Unfortunately, no chop pot, runner of diamonds. And unlucky Eugene. Takes it well as usual. What did you say? So we're on the next level. The blinds are up 4,000, 8,000, 8,000 on the big blind ante. Okay, so back on the feature table, Vicky's Suku with some of his recently acquired wealth.
Any other day
8,000 to play.
doesn't seem
David was 7-2 again, running pretty bad here in terms of being card dead. You'll be disciplined enough to fold those.
Let's go up there. For it.
He's decided he's going to play.
1,000 to play 22,000.
David's been very, very quiet, so he'll get the respect he's due, I'm sure. And David will get it through with his 7-2. So it's late at night here in Rakpan, in Gauteng. So it's time for a few fun facts, because we haven't had any for a while. Did you know that out of a 52 card regular deck of cards, you can collect 2,598,960 combinations of poker hands? How about that? The 52 cards in a deck corresponds to the number of weeks in a year. 4 suits correspond to the 4 seasons of the year. 13 cards to represent the 13 lunar cycles in a year. And if you add the values of all the cards in the deck, including the Joker, you will get 365 days. How's that? There's something bizarre. David with a hand here, pocket nines. 21,000 is the raise. the nice little flop there for Mr. Rosenthal. Gut shot here for Johan, a gut shot queen. David happy to see that money go in. And very happy to see the quads come along. So Bozo checks. Stone cold nuts here, of course. You're going to see a lot of waiting time here from Bozo. He's not going to be calling quickly, that's for sure. Oh well, just a flat call. Or is it a raise? Raise to 120. And I think Johan can get away from this. Okay, so David will be under the gun. Psychologists say that well-chosen music can be a great stimulant for playing poker. It's considered bad luck to have a dog in the room, but considered good luck to wear dirty clothes. Jeepers, I know lots of good luck people. My dogs are always in the room when we play poker. Perhaps I should kick them out, maybe I'll start winning a bit better. So I think we're on 19 players now. If we lose another player, we will do a complete redraw. And that'll take a bit of time, so that'll take us past 3:30, I'm sure. And if you would live with my body clock, that's almost time to get up. So who knows? Hey, don't forget you streamers out there are still awake and kicking. Our competition is Vicky's all in as a call. And David is folded, so it's queens here from Vicky versus so queens are slightly ahead here. So only an ace to the king. So an ace on the turn, set of queens on the river. So there was hope for Eric there. Sounds like Martin Maroon might have hit a good hand. Just click over to camera 5. And I think Martin's counting chips there. So maybe it was him who was celebrating. I suspect so. Blonsky there. Gerald's still there, David's still there, Lauren's still there, and of course Kevin. In the background, Mr. Sun, Abdul, JP, Moon and Jared. So, and I think that's Maurice behind the dealer's head. So I'll click back to the feature table. Thank you, guys. New hand has started. Eugene in picture under the gun with Jack 7. Blinds in 4-8, 8's in the big blind ante. This is hand number 275 of the day. Johan with King 10. You like these cards? I think we'll see some action here. And here was 7-2. They're getting the muck. Ace King for Vicky. He might fancy a little squeeze here. Well, he picked up a few chips there earlier, so probably a rage coming in, not a shelf.
5.
Everyone, one rotation. And I'll look at every rotation.
Slowly.
When you
Even the dealer.
Good planning. 8,000.
Harold wakes up with the Cowboys here. Interesting to see what his sizing is going to be here.
3,000. 23.
So the bet's 23,000. Fold, fold. Oh, Vicky's going to fold also. Eric's got ace queen here. This could get him in trouble.
110,000. They are 5. 110.
Boza's going to get out of the way sharpish, as does Eugene. Eugene has one of Harold's kings. Is Harold going to flat here, or is he going to make it all, put it all in? It's a flat call. Big pop brewing here. If we see hearts or a queen on the flop, we're going to have a problem.
Check.
Neither player really hits, so Harold's kings are miles ahead. I like a check here from Harold. So 123,000 of that. Pot sit is 363. And basically, Eric has the fold. Good work, Mr. Brooks. Unlucky Eric. I like the re-raise.
8,800.
Fancy if there were a couple of hearts there, might have seen some action.
table, yeah? Oh, we need to.
Eugene, Jack 4. Eugene's considering whether or not he's going to steal the blinds here. 7-2 for Johan, so we'll go to Mike. Minutes to run on the level. Harold leads the way, 500 after that nice pot there, 504 for David. Eric down at 393, and nobody really ultimate short. New hand. Rainier under the gun, 8,000 a call. Blinds at 8,000, 4,000, 8,000 on the big blind ante.
8,000 to play.
This is hand number 278 of the day. King Jack for Eric. Just been mixed it up in the big pot, so picks up some big Broadway cards again. Raises it up to 20. Over to Eugene. Finds a fold. Johan also has 9-2. Johan gets away from it, Harold gets away, and Derek will pick up the 20k in dead money. Well done.
Really, quite nice.
Still at 19 players, 21 minutes to go on the level. My understanding is that this tournament will resume at 7:30 tomorrow evening. That is to be confirmed. There is, however, another tournament, I believe, tomorrow as well. And that is due to start at 7 o'clock in the evening. So the good news is, if those times are right, we might be able to get a line bed tomorrow. You never know. Stranger things have happened. I am going to go look at the other tables and have a look at the stacks and see where we are. I'll be back shortly.
You need to scroll.
8,000.
Ja, ja.
So as in the accumulator, just to let everybody know, if we do go down to 80 plays tonight, we'll stop play where it is, we'll bag up our chips, we'll redraw, we'll play the last thing, whatever, we'll play it up 11 tomorrow.
So we draw with 18. What are you saying is keep it for 18, stop it tomorrow, bag and tag, come back tomorrow, play the rest of it. Otherwise you're going to be out for that in redraw. Yeah. Makes sense.
I guess 20 minutes was a bit long.
Well, you know, the decision was made in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
All I know, we could be into the end of this level.
I'm glad you're here, kid.
Check on it.
What's in here?
Well, I didn't know we just started. Just commentating.
I have to stretch my leg tomorrow. I'm into 16 hours straight.
The stream's
15,000.
amazing. I just normally listen to the music.
Apparently I've sent half of Africa to sleep this evening.
No, you couldn't have it. I'm only job.
I'm a big lad, I can take it. I'm a big lad. Yeah, it's been a long day. Mark said on the stream earlier that everybody knew it was going to be a long day. We have to duck it out. So I came to look for him for an interview, but apparently he's not. Funny that, eh? Wait till I see you tomorrow.
Now the keep got 5. Yeah, 5. 5.
Thank you. Bad question. Couldn't follow through.
So I'm sure you all heard the announcement from David. I think a common sense approach has prevailed. In the event that we get to 18 players before the end of this level, we will pause the clock, bag and tag, and come back tomorrow and play the rest of the level then. Based on the fact there's only 10 minutes or 12 minutes left on the level, we might actually see it to the end and 19 will have to come back. But it is what it is. Anyhow, this is your card stream team bringing you these pictures late into the night and early into the morning here in the Gauteng province in the beautiful town of Brakpan. Big shout out to the Sun International team here, particularly those guys looking after us, both in the hotel and here on the casino floor in the Duke and Jester section. What a wonderful team of guys and girls you've got. Nothing too hard to help us out. Also a shout out to our partner, the Hendon Mob and the Global Poker Index, who keep our stats accurately worldwide as poker players. And last, and certainly by no means least, everybody at Aquavita Water who's keeping us hydrated on our tour around South Africa with their beautiful mineral water. Cheers, I'm drinking some now. And if it wasn't for you guys, I think we'd all shrivel up. Pretty awesome. So our quiz on the combined heights in inches of the card stream team will continue. Please don't come up to me with a measuring tape at breakfast tomorrow, trying to cheat. Because I'll be wearing my Cuban heels tomorrow, I think, to throw you all out. David with ace 10 in the big blind here. He's going to fire.
58.
So we're on our 10-minute warning, which is time for 3-4-5 or 5-4-3, whichever way you want to call it. So if there is anybody out there still watching who doesn't know what 3-4-5 or 5-4-3 is, we will simply put 3 cards face down, 3, a 4 and a 5. We'll shuffle them up, we'll draw one of those cards, and that will be the amount of hands that are played until the end of the day. Let's hope it's 3.
I'll go for a card. This one. 5 hands. 5 more hands for this.
So Johan under the gun for the call. It's folded around to Vicky with jacks. Vicky's like, do I want to come back here tomorrow? Should I get it in there? What's happening, bro? How big is the raise?
7,000.
Raised at 37,000. That's jacks if you've ever seen them before. So we shall wait for the other tables to finish and then we'll do the draw. And we will find out if it's 3, 4 or 5 hands. I think most people are wishing it's 3. We shall find out momentarily.
Pretty much. Finishing the hands.
Dave? Hey! We must finish, right? We must finish our hand. Yes.
Rainier with ace queen here. Interesting re-raise here by David. I don't know that it gets through. Johan's called. looks like a 4-bet here. So David Rosenthal the call. I think he's going to fold. So very nice Renier. Well done. I don't know that I would show more cards to those two gangsters, but there you go.
Then they would have dealt the river, another queen, let's deal something.
So Harold has a reasonable decision to make here. And he folds. Renier's got to call him here all day. That's a call. All day. This is last hand syndrome, trust me, last hand syndrome. He doesn't want to lose all his chips and not come back tomorrow. That's what Renier's thinking. I've got 447,000 here. Let me just fold and get out of the way. He knows he has to call. There he calls. Flop cam. So I'm looking for 10s or 2s for a chop. 10 2s or 3s, and Johan does depart.
We got one more hand. Cheers. We gaan nog een dag vroeger rijden. Cheers, Johan. Cheers, I believe you. I believe you.
So I do believe this is the last hand of the evening.
8,000 to play.
And we shall be bagging and tagging, and that will be it. It will be klar. Now, it is my understanding that we will be back here for the One Life and the day 3 of this at 7 p.m. tomorrow evening. But please check your social media and your WhatsApp groups to ensure you get the right time. But that was certainly the plan last time I spoke with management. And that, as they say, is that. But before we go, thank you to all the staff. Thank you to the technical boys in here. 16 hours straight is not an easy day. And we still got another half an hour of cleaning up this side before we switch off the stream. So all of you who stayed with us, thank you very much. Have a wonderful sleep, and we'll be back here tomorrow evening. Au revoir.
Aquavita, the official water of the EFC. Pure mineral water with 0% heavy metal content. Aquavita mineral water. Get more out of life. Aquavita, the official water of the EFC. Pure mineral water with 0%.
MJPT is giving you the chance to win 1 million rand guaranteed for just 5,650 rand entry. The Monster Millions accumulator comes to a head at Carnival City in February 2020. During the series, there will be 2-day ones, and that means 2 more chances for you to either add to your stack or come in as a brand new player and take your chance to win 1 million rand for just 5,650. Day 2 takes place on the 10th of February, and that is where the action will take place, and we will crown our winner for the guaranteed first place prize of 1 million rand. Get down to Carnival City in February 2020 and contact the Monster Jam Poker Tour team today for more information. MJPT is giving you the chance to win 1 million rand guaranteed for just 5,650 rand entry. The Monster Millions accumulator comes to a head at Carnival City in February 2020. During the series, there will be 2-day ones, and that means 2 more chances for you to either add to your stack or come in as a brand new player and take your chance to win 1 million rand for just 5,650. Day 2 takes place on the 10th of February, and that is where the action will take place, and we will crown our winner for the guaranteed first place prize of 1 million rand. Get down to Carnival City in February 2020 and contact the Monster Jam Poker Tour team today for more information.